Well, if it isn't Fenring's pet puzzle box. Last we met, there was a Sardaukar blade against your throat, and I was debating how best to make you scream. Careful, prisoner. I might start thinking you're trying to scare me. Threats and promises. Sounds about right. Let's get this going before the killer makes a third option. We don't have time for guesswork, but rushing breeds mistakes, and mistakes mean more blood on the streets. This killer is methodical, precise, and they won't stop until the job's done. There's a pattern to the victims. Find it, and you might catch them in the act. If the killer's still here, and we believe they are, then this is our best, and maybe only, chance to stop them. And make no mistake, if the Bennett Tlilaxu are involved, this isn't just a string of murders. It's a purge, carefully planned and devastating. A threat not only to Arrakeen, but to the stability of the entire Imperium. There is no we. You go out and dig. I stay here and wait for the results. Don't come back empty-handed. You're not Fenring's only pet. He's got a whole shelf of broken things he likes to wind up and watch. Start with the engineer, Osten Laithe, on the upper level of the Salusan Bull. The last two victims were known associates. He must be mixed up in this somehow. He's not out on the floor with the common drinkers, if that's what you're thinking. Laithe sticks to the back rooms, quiet, curated, and expensive enough to keep the rabble out. Of course not. They are restricted to patrons of higher standing than prisoner. You'll have to speak with the barman on the upper level of the Salusan Bull, Alistair Chim. Either he or their security man, Ugo Firenze, can provide access. If only I had a dossier and a drink menu. Find the man. You'll learn more in 5 minutes than I could tell you in 10. Should you require further guidance, return to me.
Hello! Welcome to the Matador Room, where the spirit of Caladan steps into the ring. Believe me, I would love to usher you in and cause a scandal. But unless your house's sigil is on the registry, you will have to enjoy this floor with the rest of us wretches. Follow all the leads you want, friend. But not past that curtain. I don't bend the rules just because someone sounds serious. Besides, the room is on lockdown. I'm just the gatekeeper here. A minor medical incident with a patron. We are grateful for your patience. Of course, discretion and propriety forbid me from disclosing the activities of our patrons. You understand. Hey, Tors sent you. Yes, we know Master Laithe well. Alas, he is the subject of the unfortunate medical incident I spoke of. Yes, but that was before you identify yourself as the Sub-Prefect's agent. I regret to inform you that the engineer has suffered the most conclusive of a health setbacks. Let's just say he won't be ordering more drinks anytime soon. Very well. But may I ask what is it you are looking for? What a conspiracy! The man was cooked on Vanta draft, and he liked to play revolutionary between relapses. Very well. I grant you access to the lounge, but I make it quick. Please, wave your little wand around. You will see what I saw. The trail of a man who burned from the inside out.
If you're hearing this, well, I didn't get away. I'm Osten, Laithe, engineer. The guy they call when they want things done, not questions asked. There was this one chance I could have said no, but I didn't. I crunched the numbers, fine-tuned them. That was all it took to bring down the ceiling on 1,000,000 lives. I didn't press the button, but I knew it was coming. I just didn't want to disappoint the guy who asked. They gave me a new title, a nicer coat, called me Na Familia. But after that, they wouldn't look me in the eye. And the thing I hear over and over, it's not the blast, it's my silence. When I found this pamphlet stuck behind a sink, you dig, you sweat, you die, and your work builds opera houses on worlds you'll never see. There was a sandfly stamped on the back, razor wings, sickle-shaped stinger. What bleeds in silence must one day sing. Didn't get it then, but those words stuck.
Back so soon? Can't get enough of my charming company, eh? Looking for Osten Laithe, hmm? Let me tell you about Corporal Laithe. No relation, mind you. 5th Mesa Infantry Dejamwadi, hell of a fight. We'd cut down half a cohort of Harkonnen dragoons and engineers, stalling the Bastion's build. One blink too long, and we were marked. Last fire from the Bastion's shadow, pinning us down, peeling men apart. But Corporal Laithe, he moved through that ruin like it was his own grave. Blood on the stone, breath like ash. Got behind the nest, killed it quiet. A minor victory swallowed by the endless grind of war. Corporal Laithe and 11 other troopers died that day. You want a hero's tale, that's it. But don't expect the Laithe you're chasing to be like that. Different man. This one's just a ghost story for fools at the bar. I hope your Laithe is alive. Mine surely isn't.
Oh, I swear to the stars, if you're here to ply me with a drink, I'm going to shove shards of glass in your eyes. I'm sorry. Am I sorry? No, I'm not. Let me be plain. This is the worst possible time. I do not wish to speak. Kindly go away, please. You've seen... Very well. Let's get this over with. My name is Hester Klimt. Ask your questions. I was his assistant. We worked together at the Imperial Planetologist's office. That's the extent of our relationship. No. And what does it matter? There's no foul play. Unless you have some compelling evidence or medical training, I have to deal with the fallout now. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to prepare. I have to clean out his office. I have to prepare for his replacement. There's too much.
You do not appear to be injured or ill. So what brings you to my clinic? I can't say I know the name, but I'm afraid my head has been buried in matters concerning my clinic of late. What's this to do with me? A possible murder, then. I see. That is interesting. At least morbidly so. Today has taken an interesting turn. I'll do the best I can without a body to directly examine. What can you tell me about the state of the cadaver? That makes me suspect poison. However, without bodily samples to test, I cannot confirm. A poison snooper would be the most expedient method. I'm afraid I don't have any snoopers at all. My supplies are lacking in general at the moment. If I knew that, I'd have one already. But I'm not exactly familiar with the more illicit sources of goods in Arrakeen.
Found what you were looking for? Or just a new regret to pair with your drink? Ah, need. Such a clingy word. What for? Oh, how quaint. Next, you'll want goggles to spot betrayal. Oh, pity. Pity. I was rather looking forward to fitting you with a full betrayal ensemble. Hat, gloves, moral clarity. Yes, yes, you may have the snooper. But only if you perform a small public service for me. Gratuity is such a civilized word for coercion. You know, you're charming when you're being transactional. Very well. I believe an understanding has been reached. But enlightenment, my dear Inspector, always comes at a cost. Can't be helped, I'm afraid. The snooper's calibration protocol requires a verbal cue. Don't shoot the messenger. It's old Ixian firmware. Before the snooper calibrates, you must ask Justice Clagg loudly if he's finished his epic poem, Ballad of the Righteous Bootlicker.
You? Again? You're like a rash. Sorry. Was that hurtful? Not hurtful enough. How is this supposed to go? I'm in over my head. I'm not in the proper state of mind, and I promise there will be collateral damage if I have to open my mouth. Murder? That's impossible. I don't... How could you... How? No, there's clearly been a mistake. The situation is insane enough without these wild theories. No, murder... It seems so unlikely, doesn't it? I don't... All right, you nerve-wracking hound. Let me think. Perhaps I do know something that would help. Ask your questions. Stranger than usual? He did become extra agitated. Paranoid, even. Particularly after a meeting with a strange woman. A redhead. He met with her in a closed room for hours. He came out, distressed, immediately ordering a Thop to transport for the following day. I don't know if I should... He had a secret workshop in the eastern shield wall. I don't know why he chose such a remote location. I don't know what he worked on there. I never saw him work. I'll send you the coordinates of the workshop. I understand. Let's get this over with. Murder. I just can't believe... Well, the more I think about it, someone murdering Osten isn't so unbelievable. I don't know what to believe. Osten wasn't a conventional boss. He rarely came into the office. A dysfunctional workplace, to say the least. No guidance, little teaching, nothing. With the absence of Cyprian Io, I've been taught nothing. I've had to figure it out as I go, running the day-to-day affairs in the chaos. In essence, I'm the acting planetologist of Arrakeen. It's ludicrous. I'm in over my head. Damn Osten. Or rest in peace. Or both. I'm losing my mind. I appreciate that. Osten must have done something for someone in power to earn his cozy position. He did something that haunted him. You should understand, Osten was a brilliant engineer, as near as I can tell. But something shattered him at some point. He's a shadow of who he was. It wasn't any one thing or any describable clue. Just a million tiny intangibles taken in while being around him. Something had him guilt-racked. Once I saw him sobbing over a set of city planning sketches. He didn't see me. He avoided his work and skill set. It made him feel guilty or afraid. I'm not sure how he made ends meet, but the job title remained and money kept coming in. An alibi for Osten's murder. I was out on business that Osten had been neglecting. I'm afraid the only proof I can show are piles of hastily prepared paperwork. Alistair and Ugo have access to any room in the Salusan ball, of course. I know I've seen Ambrose Lucifera in and out of there. Isn't that the thing about murder? We're often surprised by who is capable. I suppose Ugo and Alistair might have their own shady dealings. But I can't imagine them killing someone in their own establishment. And Ambrose seems too ridiculous. I don't know. Was that some sort of revolutionary manifesto? I don't know much about the book itself, other than Osten was reading it obsessively recently. Not specifically. Well, I don't know if it is any way connected, but Osten's political demeanor was becoming more, I suppose, militant. Towards the end, he also seemed to be hanging out about more and more shady and dangerous-looking people, though I have no idea who they were.
Back so soon? Can't get enough of my charming company, eh?
Ah, you are back. How can I help? But who would want to kill Master Laithe? He was already doing a good job over that himself. Between his taste for that toxic Harkonnen brew he loved so much, and the company he kept. House deserters and ex-Dune men mostly. Not the kind that file taxes or hold court on Kaiten. Master Laithe was a creature of habit, wretched ones. Benders that lasted days, women and drink until he couldn't see straight. Oh, public! Shouting poetry in the gutter. One sock, no shoes. The sheriff, he dragged him in more than once. No charges, of course. Not for his kind. He would vanish, poof. Sometimes for days or weeks at a time. Always come back clear-eyed, skin back like a desert stone. That is when he would hole up in the private room, pour himself a Vanta, crack open one of those revolutionary tomes, and the cycle would begin anew.
Found what you were looking for? Or just a new regret to pair with your drink? I believe you are mistaken. Master Laithe is under the influence of something quite spiritual. Vantadraft. Known side effects include coma, confession, and occasionally death. But let's be generous and assume the middle one. You're right, no games. Just a corpse in the Espada room, and a list of insults I had hoped to use before Vantadraft finished what regret started. Murdered? No. Master Laithe was far too committed to slow, deliberate self-annihilation, not flashy enough for murder. Self-loathing's not a flaw in this town. It's a currency, and Master Laithe had it to spare. He spent it on bad liquor, bad romance, and bad books. In that general order. Weird stuff, off-the-record titles, things that don't circulate legally. Class struggle, worker dignity, that sort of quaint filth. The kind of books that'll get you locked up on over half the systems in the Imperium. Sorry. The desk to sign out library books is on the lower floor. Things you don't read for fun. Anti-imperial treatises. Sandfly manifestos. I don't know. I suppose he wanted to unbolt the class system with his wrench and conviction. Should have known tools like us don't get to fix things. We just hold the weight until it crushes us. You will have to ask his assistant, Hester Klimt. She catalogues tragedy like a tax collector. Go spoil her mood.
Very well, what do you want? I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about. Why are you harassing me? Portifoy, prepare for action.
Do mine ears detect the footfalls of someone who will add a drop of excitement to this rather pedestrian evening? Osten's dead, but I only saw him recently. So full of life. Wait, is this a potential murder investigation? How charmingly macabre! Do you really think someone murdered poor Osten? Shh, don't spoil it. Yes, I simply must be involved. How might I facilitate your sleuthery? Now see here, I am only midway through today's debauch, and am of sound enough mind to answer the queries of both of you. There are two of you, yes? I jest. Oh, do lighten up. This isn't a funeral, it's a possible murder scene. Why, I should think you'd be the resident expert on poisons with your involvement in the farcical plot to assassinate me. That was you, wasn't it? Just a jest at your expense. All water under the bridge, I assure you. Why, some of my closest friends have tried to murder me at one time or another. Now, what were we talking about? A proper murder mystery, and I'm a suspect. How wickedly romantic. Perhaps I felt a deadly envy toward my dear friend. Nothing comes to mind. He was a sad sack of wine, whereas I am rather fabulous. Come to think of it, we weren't very close friends. Pshaw, we can hammer out a motive later. I'm just glad to be in the rogues gallery of this caper. I can say this about poisoning Osten. It would be easy to do. The man had recently developed a bottomless appetite for spiced alcohol. Not everyone can handle vice with the charm and panache that I do. People like Osten turn alcoholic dependency into something depressing. Something terrible haunted that man. 1 part guilt and 2 parts fear of discovery, shaken well and garnished with intrigue. Take it as you will. I am just a fatuous noble brat with too much leisure on his hands. Or perhaps I'm at my most serious when I'm joking. It's been a most unusual pleasure. Should you discover any more juicy details, I'll be here, keeping vigil for poor Osten.
Report. You rattled her then? Good. Did anything shake loose? Did she say where? If he was running, that's the direction we look. Very good. You're starting to think like a Cheops player. But every cleared square reveals a trap or a truth. Go see which one Laithe left behind. The pyramid game. 9 levels. Like chess built for mentats. It doesn't matter if you have... The point is, you don't win Cheops by chasing pawns. Every piece changes value as you climb the board. Just like an investigation, you can't trust what's in front of you until you understand what's above it and what's beneath.